The CEO cleaned floors for one day. The morning the billionaire CEO picked up a mop instead of $1 million pen, he had no idea he was about to discover the darkest secret hidden inside his own company. By sunset, someone would lose everything. And someone no one ever noticed would become the reason an empire survived. At exactly 5:30 a.m., New York City was still asleep. The streets were wet from the night's rain. A young woman named Emma Carter stepped off an old bus wearing faded sneakers, carrying a worn backpack and a lunchbox wrapped in a plastic bag. She was only 23. She worked 3 jobs. In the morning, she cleaned the headquarters of one of America's biggest technology companies. In the afternoon, she studied online hoping to finish her business degree. At night, she worked at a small grocery store. Every dollar mattered. Her father had passed away years earlier. Her mother was fighting kidney disease. Emma often skipped meals so her mother could afford medicine. She was exhausted. But she never complained. She believed that dignity was worth more than money. Every morning she whispered the same words before entering the building. One more day, don't give up. Meanwhile, on the top floor of the same building, 42-year-old billionaire CEO Daniel Brooks stared through the giant glass windows of his luxurious office. His company was losing millions of dollars every month. Employees were quitting. Customers were unhappy. Managers kept telling him everything was under control. But Daniel felt something wasn't right. The reports looked perfect. The reality didn't. That morning, he made a decision no one expected. Without telling anyone, he put on a simple janitor's uniform, a baseball cap, old work gloves, and a fake name badge that read, David. For one day, the billionaire CEO would work as a cleaner. He wanted to see how people treated those they believed had no power. The security guard barely looked at him. A supervisor shouted, "Move faster. Those floors won't clean themselves." Daniel quietly nodded. For the first time in years, nobody opened doors for him. Nobody smiled. Nobody cared who he was. A few hours later, he met Emma. She noticed he looked confused while trying to operate the heavy floor cleaning machine. Instead of laughing, she walked over. "Here?" She smiled gently. "It gets stuck if you push too hard." Daniel thanked her. She simply answered, "We all start somewhere." Those 5 words stayed in his mind. Throughout the morning, Daniel watched Emma. Whenever another cleaner finished early, she secretly helped them. Whenever someone dropped trash, she picked it up without complaining. When an elderly maintenance worker hurt his back, she quietly finished his section too. Nobody thanked her. Nobody noticed. Except Daniel. Around noon, Emma opened her lunchbox. Inside was half a peanut butter sandwich. Before taking a bite, she saw a new cleaner sitting alone. Daniel. Without hesitation, she broke her sandwich into 2 pieces. "You look hungry." He tried to refuse. She smiled. "I can eat later." He accepted. It was the first meal anyone had ever shared with him without expecting something in return. That afternoon, Daniel accidentally overheard 2 senior managers talking in a private hallway. One whispered, "The CEO still believes the financial reports." The other laughed. "As long as accounting stays quiet, nobody will ever know where the money is going." Daniel froze. Millions of dollars were being stolen from his own company. He secretly recorded the conversation with his phone. But before he could leave, one of the managers saw him. "You? What are you doing here?" Daniel quickly picked up his mop. "Just cleaning." The managers looked suspicious. One of them grabbed his phone. "You cleaners should mind your own business." He deleted what he thought was the recording, then threw the phone back. Daniel stayed calm. He had already backed up the recording to the cloud. The next morning, every executive gathered inside the company's massive conference room. The atmosphere was tense. Daniel entered wearing his expensive tailored suit. The same managers who had insulted him yesterday immediately smiled. "Good morning, sir." They had no idea. Daniel pressed a button. Security officers entered. Large screens lit up. The hallway recording began to play. The room fell completely silent. Faces turned pale. Within minutes, the corrupt executives were escorted out in handcuffs. Everyone applauded. But Daniel wasn't finished. He asked, "Yesterday, who here noticed the cleaners?" Silence. Nobody answered. Then he continued, "Who noticed the young woman who helped everyone?" Again. Silence. Daniel smiled sadly. "The strongest person in this building doesn't sit in this room." A few minutes later, Emma was called upstairs. She thought she was being fired. Her hands shook as she entered the executive office. When she saw the CEO, she immediately recognized the man she had shared her sandwich with. She couldn't believe it. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know who you were." Daniel smiled. "I'm glad you didn't. If you had, you might have treated me differently." Emma lowered her eyes. "I treat everyone the same." Daniel nodded. "I know." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a full scholarship, complete medical coverage for her mother, a promotion into the company's leadership training program, and something even more surprising, a letter personally signed by Daniel. It read, "Companies are not built by billionaires. They are built by people who choose kindness when nobody is watching." 2 years later, Emma graduated with honors. She became one of the youngest operations directors in the company's history. Not because someone felt sorry for her, but because she had earned every opportunity with honesty, courage, and hard work. Daniel never forgot the lesson he learned while holding a mop instead of a title. Sometimes, the most valuable people in a company are the ones whose names nobody remembers. Moral of the story: respect is the true measure of character. Titles can impress people, but kindness reveals who you really are. The people you overlook today may become the ones who change your life tomorrow.